Well. Here we are again, good people. Here we are again.
Yes.
Once again, Wind Down Wednesday. And we sitting here before you with another blessed day, another blessed week. Just happy to be here. Y'all know who I am. I'm Sandy. I'm sitting here with my girl.
Hey, it's Shanice. Y'all know it's that time. It's hump day, wind down Wednesday. And we
Put a
got
hump
something
in your
special
back.
for
Put a
y'all
hump in
today.
your back.
Hump your back. Hump your
Hump in your back. So you know how we do it. We always start off with our week, and I know you just asked me how my week been. It's
How
it's
your week been?
hard. It's hard for a week to start when you have a Monday off. When Monday is a holiday, it's kind of hard to catch up, and it's kind of hard to maintain because you've thrown off a day. The banks was closed. The schools was closed. Some people's jobs didn't,
I
was
love it though. I love it though.
I love it too, but it throws everything off. It's like, dang, today is Wednesday. I'm like, oh my God, today is Wednesday. I was like, already. But my week has been phenomenal. It has been great. I was surprised with a trip to Chicago over the weekend, which was great. Met some wonderful people, funny people. Like to have fun and a good time and enjoy life. And it was good. So my week has been wonderful. Thus far has been great. I'm excited about the future and what it holds. I'm, thankful and grateful to God, that, He's allowed me to even get to this point in my life. So I'm like the week has been really good. The week has been great. No complaints, none whatsoever. So how was your week? You and the fam? How my family doing on that
That's
side
what's
of the
up.
city?
Everybody's doing good. Alive and well, caking it. Like, as you said, enjoying life. It was sunny out today, so that's always a plus. Some rainy days, hey, you feeling some kind of way.
Yeah. Trust.
So the week has been really quick. I love it when we have Monday off because it just makes it fly by. So before you know it, it'll be Friday. So yeah, I'm having a great one.
Well, it's already Friday. To be honest, let's just go ahead
Yep,
on. It's already.
right.
I mean, because we already missed a day. We missed one day
That's
already.
all
So
right. That's all right.
technically,
Filled with relaxation. So yeah,
yeah, exactly. But technically, it's really already Friday. You could say Thursday is here already. So,
yeah,
so
for the most part. Yep.
for the most part, Thursday is already here. So, what's the plans for the weekend? Yeah, I
Oh,
know we can hold it to the end.
yeah, you know it. You know it. We're gonna hold it to the end, but we're gonna have a good time
Always
this
got
weekend.
something. Just
As
busy.
always, we got something going on. So
Yes, always busy. But you know what? One of my
yeah,
friends say, "Sleep when you're dead." You
that's
know,
right. That's what I always say.
exactly. She always had a good point. We always say, enjoy life. Enjoy it to the fullest.
For
Do
sure.
do you. And be you, and stop worrying about being somebody else and trying to make somebody else happy. You be happy. Be
That's
happy with what
right.
you got, what you're doing, and what's going on.
That's
You know.
right. Surround yourself with fun, energetic, and positive people. And
Exactly. You
speaking,
took the words out my mouth. I was getting ready to say, how we roll. We
yeah,
like the positiveness, in everything that we do. Everything we try to do, we like the positivity piece in it. We don't like that Debbie Downers. I always got to complain about something, talking about something. Move on, grow up.
yeah, yeah.
Do
And speaking of positive, we have a special guest today. We have a positive special guest that's gonna be coming on. Hey, Jacob, thanks for tuning
what's
in.
up, Jacob? Jacob, okay, so since you starting on
Vacation,
vacation on the 17th, where might you be going?
right? Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know where are you going since you sharing the information, Mr. Lawson, that you're going somewhere. So where would that be? But you can type it in and you can let us know. But in the
Yes.
meantime, in between time, go ahead on, sis, because you was about to say something.
No, I was just saying that we speak of positive, so we always try to bring you guys some fulfilling content here at Tuck Radio. So we have a special guest this evening, and I'll let her go into what it is that she does, but we're excited to have her. And so yeah, the more information, the better.
The more the better. And y'all know how we do it. We like to bring you that stuff. We're not experts at this. We didn't go to school for this. We don't have no degrees for this. We just like doing it. And we like bringing you information that we know that's helpful to you, and it may be helpful to somebody else, because what you learn here, you can always go and tell somebody else. So with that all being said, we're going to bring our guest on. She's going to come on in this photo, in this picture, and we're going to get to talking about what is going on.
Yes.
All right. You know, what's going on, Miss Joy Daniels? What's happening? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Jacob said he is taking his wife to South Bend.
Okay. That's
well, all right then. Y'all enjoy yourselves. You know, have fun.
For sure.
And relax.
Am I frozen?
We can't see you.
We can't see you, so you got to turn on your camera.
It's on.
It's black.
Wait a minute. It was just on. Hold on.
What's up, VOP?
Hey, Theo.
Thanks for tuning in. That's my brother who just had a birthday on Friday.
Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday. You know, he getting up there. Although he don't think he's getting old, but I just want him to know that, you know, from one older person to another, yeah, he's getting old. He is getting old.
Getting wise, my friend. Getting wise.
Yeah, that's what it is. If we're gonna call it wiser, we're gonna call it wiser. But she's gonna click out and come back in so we can get her on the screen.
Hey, there you go. Welcome.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, sorry about that. Let me fix the off. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes,
we can. Welcome to Wind Down Wednesday.
Welcome.
Thank you, ladies. It's a pleasure. I'm excited.
Yeah, we are too, because let me let you know in case you didn't know. You know, we like to keep it 100% over here.
Yes.
We don't. If there's something that you don't want to discuss, you ain't got to say nothing about it. Just just say I plead the fifth. But with all of that being said, you know, we're gonna talk about this credit piece, because a lot of times, you know, the corona has kind of set people back. And I don't know, sometimes people don't know how to move forward or can't move forward or don't understand what they need to do and how they need to go about doing. And let me share another thing with you, Miss Daniels, is that if you're getting a phone call and if somebody is texting you, your camera's going to freeze. So just so you know. Oh. Yeah. So if somebody's texting you, somebody's calling you, your camera is going to freeze. What's going on?
Hey, thanks for tuning in.
You know how we do it. We keep it 100 over here. We keep it 100. So
you're frozen on the screen right now, but we can hear you clearly.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, honey.
That's weird, because I've done Zoom before. I'm trying to start it and stop it, but I don't know why I'm frozen. This is weird.
Now, we ain't tech savvy on this end either now.
Not at all.
We can't tell you how to make that thing work over there on your side.
Leave and come back in and try
I'm gonna try to leave and come back in and see if that happens.
All right.
That's kind of weird.
But good people, y'all know it is what it is that we try to bring you the information. COVID has put a lot of people in a financial bind.
Correct.
It has created a lot of catastrophes. People have had to sell their house, their cars, because money has been an issue since COVID. But for those that are interested in knowing and trying to figure out what you need to do and how you need to go about doing it, how to get back on track in so many words, because it's very difficult for some people to try to even get on track, because some people don't know how to manage money or do whatever they need to do with the money that they have. With that being said, we brought Miss Joy Daniels on here, who is an expert at this and who does know about credit and how you can get back, you know, to something. What's the minimum? What's the maximum? What you need to do? How you need to go about doing it? So we brought Miss Joy Daniels on here so she can tell you a little bit about credit, what you need to do, and how you need to go about doing it. Hi, Miss Daniels.
Yes,
I'm back.
Yay.
We're going to get this. The devil's not going to stop us.
No, he's not. No, he is not. So, Miss Daniels, tell the people a little bit about who you are, and are you from Cincinnati? Did you
Mhm.
go to one of the schools around here? And if
Yeah.
so, which one?
You know what? It's weird. I don't like talking about myself. I love talking about credit and supporting everybody else, but I know. How did I freeze again?
I don't
It's
know.
all right. We hear
You
you.
know what? I'm gonna keep going. That is really weird because I do Zoom and it doesn't freeze. So let me do this. I am from Cincinnati, believe it or not. When I was younger, I was a little embarrassed, believe it or not, to tell where I was from in high school because all my friends went to Mount Healthy or Forest Park or Walnut Hills. I went to
Mhm.
Finneytown, but I'm
Okay.
okay with it now.
That's what's up.
Went to Finneytown, and I was married a little younger for a long time, but not anymore. So for those that of you were married, I had almost 25 years under my belt. I know a little something. Credits. I have 2 sons, and I have 3 grandchildren.
Oh,
All
I have
right.
3. I know. Every time I see them, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. My granddaughter was with me. My mom and I had a mammogram, and the lady watched her so that my mom and I can do both at the same time. And the lady said, "Your daughter was so sweet. She was 4 years old. She had her hands on her hips." She said, "That's not my mama. That's my grandmama."
these kids will check you quick.
Oh my
Listen.
gosh. So I have 3, and they're now what, 10, 15, and 16.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow. Well, congratulations. And, we always talk about the excitement of being from a public school because, a lot of people harp on the private schools and the Catholic schools as though they are, I'm going to say it, as though they are better than the people that went to any public school. So
Right.
we always like to promote those that went to a public school because at the end of the day, people need to stop thinking just because you go to a private school, you're going to be successful in life. That's not always true. So we always say kudos to the public schools,
That's
kudos
right.
to the public schools, kudos to the public schools. And with all of that being said, now let's get down to the nitty gritty of credit. We were talking earlier about the fact that people's credit has been messed up due to COVID. People's finances have been kind of down in the dumps because of credit. First of all, how did you get into the credit game? Let me say that. Why did you want to get into it?
that's weird. I fell into it almost 5 years ago.
Okay.
I was being quite nosy, to be honest. I was not on Facebook, and my pastor had something on his page. I was with a girlfriend, and we were just being nosy, scrolling. And he said he was going to go to this seminar, and they were talking about credit and maybe making some extra money. So I'm thinking, I want to go see what it's all about because my credit's good. I'm very frugal with money, which doesn't mean you're cheap. So people
Right.
don't understand. Frugal means you manage what you have.
You better say it
Right.
again. Say it
Frugal,
again.
yes, is not being cheap. It's managing what you have. And so I'm very frugal, and I know what to spend my money on if it's something of value to me. Anyway, so I was watching. I thought, wait a minute, I could do this. I love helping people because I've been doing it anyway. And that snowballed into not necessarily making that extra money, even though there's nothing wrong with it. Whoever's watching, ladies, let me roar. There ain't, with a capital A, nothing wrong with a female wanting to make some extra money.
Right.
Period.
Okay.
Period. But with that being said, I realized that a lot of our communities don't really understand credit.
Nope.
They
Correct.
really don't. And they don't want to be judged. They're embarrassed sometimes. So they might have had a situation where someone wasn't very good to them or nice to them or took advantage of them.
Mhm.
And so they shy back. So when Sandy said, keep it real, that's what I do in my seminars because there are certain things you can't say on Facebook, as we know. But
Right.
when you come to the seminar or when you're talking to me on the phone, oh, you're going to get real.
Right. And that's the important piece, you know, and I don't know why people are so afraid to even, you know, talk about money or discuss money when they have issues with money. You know, there's nothing wrong with asking. I was always taught that there's no dumb question.
That's right.
And especially when it comes to money. Now, me, I call myself a very frugal individual because I do believe in managing money. I do believe my money. Let me say that. I do believe in managing my money to make sure that I even have some money, and not just me having money. I need my daughter to have money if I'm not here. Once I'm gone or something happens to me, she needs to know what to do with the money that's left behind, or whatever the case may be, or wherever it is, she needs to know. So I'm very frugal with mine, but I manage it well. But I spend it on things that I like to spend it on. So my question is, what's the best credit rate an individual need to have if they want it? It's hard for Black folks because nobody taught me about credit when I was growing up. I didn't learn nothing about credit until I was in my 20s. I got older. I had to move away from the little hick town I was in and move up north to my sister. She's the one that actually started me on making sure that my credit was right and not overspending and not underspending, not charging too many things and not having too many things in my name, to make sure that I can maintain but keep a nice credit score. So if an individual wanted to buy a car, let's start small. What is the best credit rate that they need to have? Or do they even have to have a good credit number?
Let me start this. There are 5 components to a credit score. So if I'm going to give you a number, you're not going to know how I got to that number unless you know how that number is comprised.
Mm-hmm.
So starting there, we all heard, obviously, pay your bills on time, but you don't know how important that is and what the lenders want to see. So all a credit score is a report card of what you're doing, so you can show the lender, meaning the bank or whomever is lending you money, how good you are with money. They want to see a track record. They want history. And so it's 5 components. So if I could, I would start there quickly and then let you know what those numbers mean. Because some people don't even know what the numbers are. So if I give you a number, you're not going to know what it means, really. Okay? Right. So the numbers really for a credit score are between 300 and 850. Okay? Depending on who you talk to. Okay, here's a tip. Say, I know you say it starts small, but I'm going to start a little bit bigger with a house, for example. Okay. Some say you really need a good 740 to get any freaking thing you want. Even though it's between 300 and 850, that 740 is like a golden number. But when it comes to certain mortgage lenders and these grant programs, they might say all you need is a 620. Now, see the difference?
Right.
Now, you have different loans. Say FHA says a government loan. So the government wants to make sure you have a good house. It's appraised correct. It's inspected correctly. But they're hard on the buyer and seller because it's government money. Put it that way, a little bit. So when you have a conventional loan, they say you can do a little bit more. Okay. Another example, what I'm trying to say is, remember when our children were playing, I'm being very careful, so stay with me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Our children are playing football and they're good at it, but they're not good in school, okay?
Correct.
So that 4.0 or 3.5 they're supposed to have to play sports, all of a sudden is dropped down to 3.0. All of a sudden is dropped down to 2.5. So they're, for lack of dumbing down, if you're listening to me, okay? So here you have those lenders, stay with me, that want you to have a better score, like a 680 or 700. But because some of us don't have that for various reasons, they have grant and government programs where we're now eligible at a 620. Did that help you all just a little bit, that analogy?
Yeah.
So that 620 for some people or lenders, but if you have a 680 and 700, it's a little bit better because you have better interest rates. So there's a lot more to it. But if you're getting my flow and my drift, okay. So when I said that number, it depends on who's looking at that number and what you're trying to achieve, Sandy. But basically, that you want to really have a 650 or 680. If I'm gonna throw something out there. Okay, that 620 really isn't all that. Okay, and you don't have to have an 800 either. Okay,
a lot of people think that though. They think that,
Yeah.
you know, I hear people say that all the time. Oh shoot, my credit score is 800, you know, or I'm trying to get to 800 credit score. But
Right.
in all actuality, I mean, what's the point in getting there if you're not gonna buy nothing? I mean, you're just there to be at 800. You just want to be at 800. You just want to brag about the fact that you're at 800. Because if you're pretty much settled with your car and your house, what else do you need?
and that's a very good point. Some people, I think, just want to have it just because that's that 800, that's that premier number. But that number, though, as far as say business, now I'm not good on the business credit side, maybe later, but that's not my lane right now. In order to get, say, real estate or the lender to give you more money, that's when it comes into play because you want that, sorry, people, that Indian here, that Madeira $1 million or $2 million house. Yes, you want to rock around that 800. See what I mean?
Yeah.
But for the medium person, that 650 or 680, if that's going to get you that house that you need and the government's going to help you and you can get that car, then freaking go get it. You got that 680, you get in that house, but there's nothing wrong with why you're in the house. Keep working on your credit. There's nothing wrong with everything. Is a whoever's listening, one person or 100, every freaking thing takes time, people. It's that those components, that lender wants you to have a good 5-year track record. They're only asking for 5. They didn't say 15 or 20. So everything's a process. Fixing your credit is a process. Learning about the components is a process. Buying a house is a process. Buying a car is a process. I'm going to get deeper. Trying to get that man. Trying to get that woman is a process. Don't tell me you're not going to take a bath. You're not going to get certain cologne. You're not going to get certain clothing to attract that person you want. So you're thinking, moving, whether it takes weeks or months. If that's your freaking priority, you working on that. So don't you ever tell me nothing is not a process. You want to grow grass. I'm getting past, it's a process. You want to grow a plant, a flower. It's a process. So don't play with me, people. It takes time.
All right, now go ahead now, Miss Joy. She was feeling that thing. Come back.
Go
ahead.
So how can somebody build their credit if they got like absolutely like bad credit, like really bad credit, no credit at all? A lot of young people don't have credit.
And they don't know where to start.
And they have no clue of what to do because some of their parents don't know what to do, you know, and they haven't been guided in the right directions to do and, you know, how to gain or get credit or build their credit. If someone that does not have credit, none whatsoever, no nothing, what is the recommendation for them and how do they get started?
Good question. You had kind of 2 in 1. You can have bad credit and fix it, but it depends on what's on your report. So I'm going to start with the no credit because a young man, 18, just called me up. He has none and he wants to learn. You have to build, meaning that secured credit card is paramount. Now, some people don't know the difference, and I'm gonna explain it. There is a debit card. You get it at the bank. It's using the money that you have
in the bank.
That's a debit card that has nothing to do with your credit report, people. It's not building for any reason, okay? Then you have a secured card, meaning you're using your money. The minimum is $200, okay? The bank says, here, we'll let you use the card and our services, but we don't trust you enough with our money because you don't have a freaking track record. So how about this? We're going to use your money. Plain English. So you take $200 and the process, you say you get the card in 3 weeks, you start using that, which means $200 is your limit, 10%. Spend $20 and pay it off. Spend 20 over time, okay? Over time, and maybe 6 or 7 months later, you want to make it 300 or 400 and keep building. That's a quick answer. If you're applying for a credit card, that means obviously you're using the bank's money. And if you're turned down, that's why we say get a secure card, because we know that's like a starter card. You've got to start somewhere.
Right.
Okay. You build, and if you depend on the bank, and if they have a program, it's called a Credit Achievers Program, where you're putting money in the bank. Say you have a savings account, it's $100, and you can afford with your expenses to pay $25 a month. So you're paying $25 a month. The bank is taking $25 out of that savings account, moving it into a Credit Achievers account. That movement, that transaction is being reported to all 3 credit bureaus as if you're paying back a loan. So you're building. So those are 2 quick things. That's how you build it.
Got it. And I didn't have a clue. I didn't know about that secure card.
Me neither. You just taught us something. You just taught us something. Thank you.
So did.
Yeah.
Yes.
They say you learn something new every day.
Hey, you supposed to.
It's about helping. It's not about judging. I can't stand a judgmental person. I don't like them. Sorry. That's not who I am. They're not around me. I'm here to help you and not judge you. I don't care where you are. I don't care where you came from, where you started. I don't care if my seminars, I'm going there. I don't care if you have a woman with 2 husbands, two men on the side, a man with a wife and 2 side pieces, or whatever pieces you all have. I don't care about your love life or what you've been through. I'm helping you from today moving forward. I'm not judging you. We all got something in our closet. You might know 20% of my closet if it helps you, but the rest going with me with my grave.
I know that's right.
Period. If what I can do can help you, I'm going to help you. But you got to help the person who wants to be helped too.
That
Correct.
is correct.
So how would outside of what you just mentioned, how would a person get started? Should they just get a copy of their credit report and start from there, or how should they how do they start this process?
That's a very good question. The first thing I tell anyone when we're doing a consultation is, yes, you need to get your credit report. Here's another thing. I really don't care if people say it's old school, because I've gotten past that. Don't just look at it online. Make the credit bureaus mail it to you so you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Lay it out on the table, old-fashioned way, get a marker, highlighter, and see what's on your credit report, because listen to this part. Everything that you have isn't necessarily being reported to all 3 credit bureaus. That's why you have 3 different scores. They will never, ever be the same. Ever. You have your car note is being reported, say, to Experian and Equifax, but not TransUnion. Say your rent, if your rent is even being reported, that's a whole nother topic. It might be on one and not the other 2. Okay. So get that credit report so you can see what's on it. You want to make sure your name is on there correctly. You want to make sure it has your right SS number and your date of birth. And any of that information on there is you, say, how about this? Not a junior or a senior, because they mix those on credit reports.
Right.
Son, okay, junior and senior. So yes, get that. It usually takes about 2 weeks. Get it in the mail. Then take $27 freaking dollars, I'm going there, and pay for your real freaking credit scores. I'm going to say it slower. There's 3 bureaus. 2 of them charge $9.95 for your score you got to pay for. The third one charges $7.95. So this Credit Karma that everybody's using because of that word free,
Yeah.
it's a good, okay, starter point.
Exactly.
But it could be off anywhere from 40 to 80 points or more on the downside. So I've had people walk into a car dealership thinking they're the 710 and they're the 598.
Wow.
So when I say you're worth $27, actually pay, call the credit bureaus or do it online, take your credit card, whatever your debit card, and pay for your real credit scores. Because if you're going to start somewhere, start from the horse's mouth, get it for real. Don't get it from the gossip's mouth or the pretend mouth.
Right.
Get it from them. That's where you start. So you know what you're dealing with. How about that?
Okay.
That's a good one. That's a good one, because a lot of people don't know that they can even request a copy of, like you said, most of them go with Credit Karma because they don't want to pay the money.
Correct.
They don't want to pay that little $9-10, to get their credit score. Now, when and if, I guess I got two questions too. When and if your credit is drawn, I guess, or someone looks at your credit to make a purchase, how many times does it take for your numbers to? I mean, because I've heard that a lot. Well, you don't want people to looking at you don't want
them to run it
or running your credit, because if they run your credit, it would bring your score down. I think a lot of times people don't want to do that. People with good credit don't want to do that because it brings their score down. Is that a true statement or not?
Yeah. What you're talking about is a hard inquiry. When someone is inquiring about you, okay, that's normally an institution, a company, a bank. Okay, so you're going to get obviously a car or a house, or you're getting a credit card. You're trying to. They're going to run a report. That is called a hard inquiry. Okay, and yes, that does hurt your credit somewhat, but there's two parts to that. Those 5 components I was telling you about in the beginning, they only want you to have 5 inquiries per year.
Oh, wow.
5. So Christmas time, a lot of people are getting that, 25%. Oh, let me get this Macy's card, this Sears card, this J.C. Penney's at the register. Go ahead and run it. That hurts because those are hard inquiries, and they're doing it so often, or trying to get credit cards in the mail. They don't really care. Before you know it, they've gotten 12 or 15 in a year. And that looks bad because the lenders makes you look desperate.
Right.
Think of it this way. If you tried Nordstrom and got turned down, 1. You tried Lazarus and Macy's, got turned down, 2. You go to J.C. Penney's and get turned down, 3. You go to Sears, 4. You go to Rose's, 5. You go to Dollar General, 6. That's desperation, and the lenders can smell it. How about that's what that means? But okay, but you do need obviously at least 5 a year, because like you said initially, Sandy, beginning, you've got your house and your car and your credit card. Why do you need to run up all those hard inquiries?
Right.
You don't. But people don't understand, especially during the holidays. Don't do it. It's not worth it. But here's a caveat to that, a part for you, Sandy. Now, a soft inquiry is when you, the person, is pulling your own score. So when you ask the credit bureaus, that's pulling your score for yourself, but that's a soft inquiry, and it does not hurt you. Okay? Credit card companies do a soft pull. When you get those letters in the mail, they pulled it. That's why they're sending you those letters. But that's a soft pull, and that's not hurting you because you didn't ask them to pull it. That's what they do. So the credit world, some things I don't like about it, but there's not a darn thing I can do about it but tell you what the real is and go from there. If you don't know the rules, you don't know how to play the game.
Right.
And that can hurt you.
Definitely. So how can people contact you to set up like a consultation, or what information can you give so that those who are listening, because we do have listeners globally, where they can tap into getting more questions answered, having a consultation with you, et cetera.
Okay. My consultations are free, and my name, so they know. I guess they can see it on the screen. I believe, right? Joy Daniels, so they can spell it. Okay,
Yep.
that's me. Hi, me. My phone number. I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio, people, but I can help in all 50 states. Remember, you don't have to be where I am or next door to me to get help. Everything nowadays is the internet, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Everything is a
Correct.
link. So
Yep.
I've had customers in 7 to 8 different states. Okay. So my phone number, everybody, is 513-207-3088. And Sandy, I don't know if you're putting that in your notes or somewhere. Yes. Okay. And if they want to contact me as well, obviously I'm on Facebook under just my name, Joy Daniels. And I'm on Instagram, and that's Joy Daniels, no space, dot credit repair. Nice, simple, and easy.
Yeah.
Got it. You on the gram.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Shoot. Gotta learn it.
You everywhere.
Yeah.
So, like I said, when you call, if someone texts me and say, I heard you such and such, people, please, you're adults, add your name to the text. I get it. People text it, and I'm like, hi, but who are you? What's your name?
Right.
Yeah, let me know. It's okay. You don't need my permission to pass my information around. I do seminars. I work with certain realtors, loan officers. I know an underwriter. I'm talking to a man who's a home inspection. I work with a lot of people. So if you need help with something, I'm going to give you that help.
Correct.
And I have a seminar coming up actually September 16th, which you all will see on Facebook and Instagram, where I have a realtor talking about these things. I have a home inspector telling you about these things. And we also don't think about insurance. We have to have homeowners insurance, people, and you don't get that at the last minute. So credit involves your life. Credit's not going anywhere, people. You have credit renting. You have credit getting a phone. How about this story for you younger people that might be listening? You go to Sam's and these young men have those tables and they're talking about, do you want a phone, etc. And this young man said, some couples that are couples, not married, try to get a phone. And when the man applies, his credit is bad. He has to use his girlfriend to get the phone because her credit is better. Just a little example. You need credit if you're renting. Some people, apartment owners, will double your deposit because you're bad credit.
Right.
That's crazy.
Credit, you can be in a home. Now, remember, we're little and you drive by a house, you think, oh, that's a pretty house. And we assume as children, the person in that house lives and owns that house. No, they could be renting for 9 years, get a letter or a phone call from the owner and be told they have 30 to 45 days to leave and they got to go.
Yeah. We have a question for you. Go ahead, Wanda.
And nowhere to go. That's a darn shame.
Yeah.
Wanda, thanks for tuning in, Wanda. Wanda says that she has a question for you. So we will see what Wanda's question is. So what age should anybody start trying to build their credit? Should they start immediately when they are 15 or got a job and they can get a credit card? What's the minimum age to get a credit card? Do you have to be 18? Is 18 the adult number?
I'm excited for this question. Let me tell you something. I just took a sip of, if we were looking, I think it was Wine Down Wednesday. I put water in a wine glass because I'm not a wine drinker.
That's all right.
So I'm sipping my water. But young lady, there's 2 things to that. First of all, if you have a parent or a grandparent or even an aunt with good credit and you know it, they can add you onto their credit card as an authorized user. Now I'm gonna go slow with this, but here's the thing. Say my credit is 815, right? And say I'm helping my mom divorce situations. I can put my mom on my credit card, not give her the credit card, not tell her, say I'm just helping boost her score, and everything of mine that's positive is going to reflect on hers. So that some parents with good credit put their children on there as early as 10.
Ooh.
But you do not, young lady, give them the credit card. Just put their name. They don't need the card at 12, at 15. Heck, they might not need it really at 18. If you're building it for them, you start at 14. By the time they hit 18, that's 4 good years of credit. So that's one. But if you want your 18-year-old, obviously, to start with credit, then what I suggested before is that secure card and help them make sure they're spending that 10% of that limit. But you can be added on again as an authorized user, but do not give that child the credit card.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it does, because they have you jacked up.
They will. And they won't even know by the time they get of age, you know, and it's unfortunate that parents, unfortunately, some parents ruin their children's credit by doing what you just said, but doing it in the opposite way.
Yes.
Using their name for
electric bills,
you know, or a cell phone, like you said, because they can't get one. So they use their child's information, which is unfortunate. And along the way, when your child gets of age and try to buy something or buy something with credit, you know, they can't do it because it's all jacked up.
Yes. A young man called me a Friday night at 10:30. Okay. His mother, he found out after getting his credit report and looking at it, she was using his social security number, and he cried. He was afraid to keep talking because he thought, and I'm not going to obviously call the police or put his mom in jail, but he was so scared. He didn't call me back because he didn't want his mother to get in trouble.
Oh my.
That's how serious it is.
It is. It is. Wanda has a question. Here's
okay.
She said, as far as student loan debt goes, what advice can you give when it comes to bettering your credit? I'm almost done with school and I'm thinking of home ownership after I graduate, which is 1.5 years away.
Okay. Student loan debt. Here's a couple things. Normally, the lender will look at your total debt, say it's $60,000. They're going to take 1% of that, which is $600, and put that as part of your debt, because they do what's called a debt to income ratio, which means the lender, if they're going to lend you some money, they want to see what expenses you have and where your income lies to see if you can afford to pay back your debt, which is part of that student loan debt, and then pay that mortgage bill. Say that mortgage is maybe $1,100 a month. Okay. Now we know politically Biden's trying to work on some things, but as we know, in the past, they did not use that 1%. But now they're starting to use it. So you have forbearance, things are happening. What happened with one of my customers, she had a lot of student loan debt on her credit report. If she looked at it, it had 23 dings, 23 lines. That's because, you know, they do by semester, or you're going in and out of schools, or you're trying to do when it closed down, you know, 500, 1,000, whatever. I say consolidate your debt. Call, whether it's NailNet or you Department of Education or Naviet, whoever it is, try to get those consolidated and work on whatever you think you might be able to afford if they want to work with you and go with your yearly income. And maybe that $60,000 debt that you have, instead of the lenders using $600 as your monthly payment, you might negotiate, hey, I can do 75 or 100. That's better in your total scheme of debt than 600.
Got it.
Little things like that.
Right.
And if she wanted to call me, she's more than welcome to call me later.
You got that, Wanda? pick up the phone and give me joy.
But not now. You might freeze me twice.
Yeah, no, not right now. Not right now.
Don't do it now while she's talking to
She
us.
got you.
Yeah.
So do you think that if someone is trying to rebuild their credit, someone wants to start over and they just got a lot of debt when they run their, like you said, 25 entries and all of it is pretty much schooling. So would you recommend, regardless of however old you are, do you recommend them consolidating so they can pay it off?
When I say consolidate, I only mean for student loans. I do not advocate for customers using a consolidation company to fix your credit. Do not. I've got two examples where a young man was paying $500 for 2 years.
Wow.
And he still had 11,000 debt. He doesn't know what's going on. He just trusted them, giving them his money. Please call me first. Do not. Okay. Do not file bankruptcy until you call me first. Some of us think, oh my God, I'm 11,000 in debt or 45,000. Don't just run to bankruptcy. That's like cutting off your leg. That's the last resort. Think of it that way. You're cutting off your leg. Figure it out. Yes, sometimes you're an adult. I'm going to be real. You got to suck it up and maybe pay down some debt because it is your debt. Some other credit consultants, I'm not talking about anybody, but you need real talk. I'm not going to play with you. If it's your debt, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to dispute something that's yours. We're not going to lie to nobody to get something magically taken off. That's bull crap. Suck it up. Realize what you did was wrong, stupid, or you didn't care. I don't care. You were young. You weren't young. You didn't want to pay it. It doesn't matter. But if sometimes, this is where I said it's a process. It might take you a year or two to pay down some debt. Take care of that collection. Take care of that charge off, whatever it is, to get yourself in a position to be ready to be a homeowner. Things do happen. Job loss, divorce. Things happen in life. You don't have a $70,000 a year job. You might have a Walmart job. Who cares? But if you know what to do with your money, it's going to happen. You just need someone like me to tell you what you need to know, where to start, what to look at, and be willing to help yourself through the process. It's not quick, fast, and easy.
Correct.
And you're right. The key words that you said is you have to be willing to help yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
want to do work. You got to want to do the work.
Exactly.
It was work to put it on there. It was a process to get it on there. So it's going to be a process to get it off.
Girl, tell it.
You just got to work hard at it and you got to make sure that that's something you want to do. So Wanda was asking too, she said, does the lenders, do the lender generally work with you if you call them and ask them questions as far as, I guess bringing your payment lower or whatever the case may be? Nobody ever wants to extend the time that they have on their loan. They actually probably trying to make it shorter. And I know a lot of times we want, when we make it shorter, we pay more money.
Mm-hmm.
So will the lender work with you? I guess that's probably based on the lender.
If she's trying to get a house, like I said, hers might be very specific to her situation. But in general, if you're trying to get a house, it's not that will the lender work with you. You're starting with me. I'm going to get you in position so that you can be in a better position to get a house. I'm not going to just tell you, oh, we're going to fix your credit, go see this lender. No, I'm going to make sure you have a certain number, at least between 620 and 680. We're going to look at your debt to income ratio. You're going to know what you need to know before you get to that lender. Period. Because just like a realtor, they're not going to spend the time to help you look for a house if you don't have a pre-approval letter. They're not going to waste your time and their time. So like this with the lender, you're not going to just go to them, oh, I've got whatever situation she has. If you've got collections and charge-offs, we're going to work on that before you get to the lender. If you have those student loan debt, we're going to work on that before you get to lender. Because all the lender's going to say is work on it.
Yep,
Yep.
But they ain't gonna do it for you. That's not their job, and they don't have the time.
exactly.
Mhm.
Wanda also said, she said, so she owes student loans. She owes that. She wanted to know
She can find bankrupt.
if she
No.
could file bankruptcy with student loans. But
No.
you can file bankruptcy pretty much if your credit is jacked and you trying to rebuild it or whatever. You can pretty much file bankruptcy.
Yes, but you cannot file bankruptcy on your student loans. Anything IRS debt, if it's a government debt, you cannot file bankruptcy on it. Do you know how many
What?
people would file bankruptcy if they could? They're not gonna let you. Do you think the government's gonna let you file bankruptcy and lose all that money? No. No on student loan debt. No if you know the IRS, and I don't think you can file bankruptcy on child supports either.
So with that
They
being
come to
said,
fold you.
if I consolidate all my bills, I mean, I don't have all that. If I consolidate all my bills, my student loans, my credit cards, my car note, whatever, if I consolidate all of that, and if I pay on it for about a year, and then I decide that, or 6 months, let's say hypothetically speaking, 6 months, can I file bankruptcy then?
You're mixing two things. Don't mix your student loan debt with your credit card and other debt. They're two separate things, two separate issues. First, if you really, after trying everything, have to file bankruptcy, then you do have to file bankruptcy, period. But and student loan debt, you might have that debt until you're dead. The way this world is, I don't know anybody that's really paid off their student loan debt.
Right.
I mean, I'm being serious. I don't know what's going on with the world. Unfortunately, without being smart, I did pay mine off, but I had it coming out of my check.
There
That's
it
something I
is.
tell people. Just quickly, I did, for me, a quick, fast truth, I wanted to go to UC, but being frugal, I didn't like that, say, $160 per credit hour. I didn't like that price tag, and I was paying for it. I went to Cincinnati State. But I got 2 associate's degrees because back then, unfortunately, someone told me 2 associate degrees equal a bachelor. I
Right.
believed it. Remember, I was younger. So I went 4 years. I got 2. And because I brought my debt down half from not going to UC, then I had it coming out of my check, just like, say, my car note or my car insurance. When it was coming out, I was never late. And after 3 years, I've still got the letter. The government sent me a letter saying, you've been paying your debt on time for 3 years. We're going to lower your interest rate just a little bit. So I even paid less on the balance. So it was coming out of my check, but I wasn't having a $60,000 or $70,000 loan because, again, I'm frugal. I don't want to owe anybody nothing. So I paid it back in the 10 years you're supposed to. But for the most part of the world, no one's paying back that $70,000 and $100,000 debt.
It's
So
impossible.
if Wanda would call me later, we'll talk. But for the most part, don't consolidate those bills. If you have to get a second job, it is what it is. Get a second job and help pay down some of that debt.
Right.
I've done it. It is what it is, people. That's real talk. You got a full-time job. If you can work part-time for a couple years, we all had that coworker who had this husband and he had a good job and she worked 2 or 3 years for their vacation money. Come on, I know some of you've heard that.
Oh,
That coworker, you know what I'm saying? That coworker.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to Disney. I'm gonna spend $5,000. That's why I'm working part time, just for that.
Right.
So do it to pay down your debt.
Yeah. Smarter, not harder.
Hey, that's real talk, people.
And that's what we do. We keep it real right here. We try to bring you as much information as we possibly can. So do not consolidate. Make that your rule and don't file bankruptcy unless you absolutely, positively have just weighed all the options that were out there.
Yes.
But give Ms. Daniels a call first. Let her talk to you. Let's see what can be done before you make any sudden moves.
Any sudden move. Wanda says she gonna give you a
Oh,
call
Yep.
No problem, babe.
after she
That's why I'm
gets
here.
because a lot of people don't know what to do or how to do it when it comes to credit. You know, they just go with the flow, you know, or they go with what somebody told them without getting proper information or asking a professional that knows what to do and how to go about doing it. So that's why we try to help people by bringing individuals on like you so we can talk about how you know, because what you can do with your money, because I think it's important. COVID, we already know COVID has put some people into a bind.
Yes.
and they don't think that there isn't ever a way to get out of it, but it is. It's the unfortunate thing is you just got to work at it. You got to figure it out. And the only way you can figure it out is call somebody like Miss Joy Daniels so she can give you that info on
Get
what
you on the right track.
Yes.
and get you back on track with your finances, with your money. I'm about to retire, Miss Joy. I might have to call you my own self because it's like, but like once again, I already said I am frugal with my money, so I manage my money very well. I don't want to invest my money because I feel like what am I if I ain't investing it in me, I don't want to invest it in nothing else. Because if I invested in something else, then what happens if I'm not here tomorrow? All that investment money done gone down the drain. I can't spend it, use it, or nothing. So I invest my money in me by being frugal, managing it and spending it how I want to spend it. That's what I do. Now, everybody ain't like me, and some people may not want to do it that way, but it has worked for me all these years, and I pray that it continues to work for me. So that's what's your recommendations, Ms. Daniels? When an individual retires, do you recommend they make investments? Because now they are no longer getting that paycheck every other week or every week or whatever. Now they're actually on a monthly payment, but some money, retirement money can be invested. Do you recommend that a retiree invest some of their money?
Well, you're not going to like this answer, young lady, but
it ain't going to change me though. It ain't going to change me.
I know. No, it won't. No, but I understand who you are and I can appreciate that. But really, I've been trying to put on my page since I've just been on Facebook doing this almost 5 years. You got to start in your 20s when you have a job that offers a 401k. Some of us don't know what that is. Get it. Because when you're 20, before you blink, you're going to be 40, 50, and 60. For real, for real. And if you start now, say retiring, it's really too late. You want to start early because whether you want to leave if you have kids or grandkids, whatever whether they're knuckleheads or not, you can get a will and determine when they should get some money, what have you. But you want to leave them something to give them a little bit better start than what you had for the total community is what I'm saying. So you don't have a lot of renters. You have a lot of generational knowledge where they have some money that they can invest in by getting that house. So for a retirement person with a fixed income, it's kind of hard to invest your money because you're on a fixed income, unless you get that second job and want to invest some of that. But those annuities, which I'm learning, because I have an IRA, I have a 401k, because I was that person that asked a lot of questions when I was younger. And now it's helped because I do have some money in case something happened to your health or something happened. Everyone needs some type of emergency money for no matter what, for whatever reason, even if you want to just go somewhere and fly, whatever. But just like renter's insurance, there's an accident waiting to happen in your apartment in the wintertime sometimes. And when you lose everything, say in a fire that's say not your fault, that owner of that building is going to be taken care of, but all of your possessions are gone up in smoke. You have nothing. So talking about that later, I recommend you've got to start somewhere. You've got to. And if your job is giving you a 401k and they're matching some of it, take advantage of it. Don't not take advantage. And when you lose a job, get fired or transferred to another one, you take that money and you put it in an IRA and hold it until you put it into another job. Don't spend it. A lot of people are spending in their 30s and they don't realize until they're in their 40s and 50s trying to get a house. Darn, that 10 or 12,000 I spent, I could have used it. Maybe towards a down payment.
Yep.
That was like real quick something.
I agree.
That was a lot of information. That's what we need. That's what we need.
But I am that kind that I do have IRAs. I do have some,
then you're good. Okay.
Some other things, but everybody has not been. Everybody don't do that. Everybody don't put money to the side. There are some people that are strictly living on retirement money because, or Social Security or whatever, because they did not invest or they didn't put money to the side or they didn't hold back some.
And that's why they're at Walmart working.
Well, they say Walmart got some good benefits.
Well, that's good, but you're tired. Your leg, you don't want to get up at 68 and 70. You're tired.
You got that right. You got that right.
You tired.
You ain't lying, Miss. You ain't lying.
Okay, it ain't got nothing to do with some benefits. Now you tired. Shoot, you got Medicare, got benefits. You got to get up in the morning. Please.
I'm done. I've been blessed. God has blessed me to get to this point. One of my coworkers already said, he said, we too old to be doing this job. He said,
right.
Real talk.
At 60. He said, the young people need to do this job. We need to go ahead on somewhere and sit down. And I don't get it. I get it. A lot of people, that's what they like. They like the money. They like working for it. But I ain't trying to keep working all my life and not trying to enjoy the fruits of my labor.
Yep.
Make it make sense.
Yep.
So that's my take on it. I don't know about nobody else's, but that's mine. But I do think, my daughter will be okay. If something ever happens to me, she'll be fine. That'll be nothing. She ain't got nothing to worry about. Because everything is, I already know what to do. I already did that a long time ago, so that's one thing I did learn at a young age.
Good.
To make sure that's why I'm frugal, because, I know how to manage my money, and I manage it well. Some people say I'm stingy, but who am I stingy to? If I'm stingy to myself, I'm good.
I know that's right.
Because I ain't giving it to you. I'm stingy.
That's all right.
Hey, stingy.
Yeah. All right. But don't get it twisted. I like nice things, but I'll spend the money on something that I like. Ain't got nothing to do with you. Something that I like. So that's just me. So good people.
But yeah,
how much time it is. It don't even seem like it's been a whole hour yet, but it has.
Yes.
We have come to the end of this thing, and Miss Joy is on the other end. Please feel free to call her. The number right there is on the screen.
Yes.
She will help you repair your credit. There's no question that's a dumb question. She will answer anything that she can and help you. But follow her on Facebook and Instagram. She is out there, people, to help you. You heard what she said. Sure. God put people in places for things. God give people talents for a reason, not for them to hold it to themselves, but for them to share with others. And that's what Miss Joy Daniels is doing with her credit repair talent. She is helping you rebuild your whole life that you may have messed up at some point along the way. But it ain't too late.
Never too late.
Never too late.
Call Miss Joy, and Miss Joy will help you repair your credit.
That's right. And that's right. We just grateful to have you. We're glad you had the time and opportunity. We have your information posted up here. We're at the point of the show where we like to give a positive quote. So since you are our special guest today, we'll let you start with a positive quote, whatever you like.
Oh, let's see. Man, I had some good ones too. Some from Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn. Let me tell you, people, motivational. Get a motivational speaker. There are so many. Les Brown. You've got Zig Ziglar. You've got Jim Rohn. You've got T.D. Jakes. You've got Eric E.T. Thomas. You've got Icky Johnson. Get a motivational person. You've got women, Sarah Jakes Roberts. Get something that will help your spirit every day. Listen to that. All of us need some motivational speakers. Those relationships, Tony Gaskins Jr. or Trent Sheldon. There are so many people. Get a Black man, a Black woman, get a Black female, get a white female. Look at all the genres. Don't just look at one. You can learn a lot from everybody. Open your mind, open your heart, and see what they have to say. I put that on my page all the time. It's never too late to start. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. Just go for it. Look what I'm doing now. I didn't have Facebook, people. I had to learn how to do Facebook. I had a 9-year-old at Staples put my Instagram together. You can do it. I'm older. It's okay. Don't let anything stop you. Keep failing forward.
Okay.
Yeah. And my positive call, of course, I recommend you guys contact Joy Daniels in some way capacity. If you got a little cousin, a little sister, whoever, get these young people started now as quickly as possible on repairing their credit or building their credit, so that when they get to their 40s and their 60s, you know, they're okay, they're knowledgeable, and they can pass this knowledge down. So positive quote is be positive, stay positive, and share what you can.
Well, okay. And y'all know me, but you know, I always have to add a little bit of something on top of mine. You know, I had said before, it's okay to push the reset button. Sometimes you have to start over, or not really start over, but you just need to reset yourself so you can do better and be better later on down the road, not just for you, but for your family as well. So with that all being said, y'all know me, y'all know what I say. It's always better to give anyway than it is to receive. And we're going to see y'all next Wednesday.
Yes, check the Tuck Radio page
And
for
thanks,
anything
Miss Joy. Thank
Yes,
you
thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you. I appreciate you both so much. I'm excited. I love, if you need me to come back for anything else, just let me know. And I don't know how I froze. We got to figure this out because, man, they missed
Well,
my automation.
you froze pretty though. You froze
Yes,
with a
you
smile on your
did.
face, so.
Oh, Lord, whatever.
I'm still smiling.
Yeah, thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate you
you.
both.
And have a great evening, everybody. See you
Thank
next
you.
See you
week.
next Wednesday.
Bye. Take care.